Hello, everyone, and welcome to another DTC Sports special presentation. I'm Tom Duggin for DTC Sports. Today we're at Gordonsville Elementary School, and we're here to talk Gordonsville Tiger football with new head coach Scott Clemons. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the new job, and a lot of folks would say, well, welcome back to the sidelines at Gordonsville.
Well, it's always good to be, coming back home, and I've been out of it for a couple of years now, and I'm excited to be back, and so we're ready to get started.
Coach, let's get a little info on your background. Know you played football, Gordonsville, graduated here, but just tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself.
Graduated in '89. I was on the '88 football team. Played football here at junior high and high school. Left here and went to MTSU. Then I went to Clemons and played football down there for a couple of years. Got out of college, got my first job in Macon County, stayed there for a year. Went to Lebanon High School for a year, and I've been here ever since. 22 years, I think, I've been back here.
Well, I know you, longtime assistant coach here, but again, the last couple of years you stepped aside, stepped into administration, principal here at Gordonsville Elementary School. What provoked you to get back onto the sidelines? What was it that talked to you that told you wanted to get back into coaching?
Well, if you're a competitive person, you want an opportunity to compete. And I love the job that I'm in right now. I love these kids, and I love the faculty here. They do a wonderful job. And but an opportunity to come out and do something I'd wanted to do for a long time, and talked to a lot of people, prayed about it, and talked to my wife, and she was I think she was tired of me being around the house, so she told me to get out. So we just, it's kind of the decision we made. It's just something that I missed, and I wanted to be back out there and be a part of it.
Let's talk a little bit about your staff and your expectations. I know you're about to get into spring ball, but talk about some of the things that you plan on working on going into spring ball, and talk about your staff that you've got coming in to help you.
Well, we were going to start on Monday, and we've pushed it back to Wednesday. And, we wrote on our day one practice schedule, we got to be more physical. We've been with those kids now in the weight room for 3 months roughly, and we've been preaching that in the weight room. We got to make it rougher. We got to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and that's number one. We got a lot of kids that we're going to dress somewhere around 60 kids in the fall right now. So we got to find 11 to play defense, and some of those same ones to play offense, and then we got to figure out who can help us and where they can help us out. I hadn't been out there in 2 years, so I don't know a whole lot about them. Coach Petty's coached them in junior high, but a lot of those kids have got older. So, we're trying to figure them out just like they're trying to figure us out. Coach Petty's going to come back out and help us, and, the Coach Peoples is kind of doing in junior high and high school. He'll be out there in the spring. Coach Bush is still in softball, and Coach Gooseby and Coach Baker in softball. Baseball. We'll have to get those when their seasons get over with.
You spent over 20 years as an assistant coach, went from Macon County, Lebanon, and then, of course, back home here to Gordonsville. What do you see maybe being the biggest transition from being an assistant coach to now taking over the head job?
Well, for years, me and Coach Marshall, we'd sit down and talk about things, and ultimately it was his decision to make. We would discuss things, and even when Coach Dillard was here, Coach Wills, who all three of those guys I got an opportunity to learn a lot from, and I'm so thankful that I got that opportunity. But ultimately, the decision falls upon them, or in my case now, it'd be me. Whereas before, as an assistant, you had ideas and things that you wanted to get done, but you had to run it through the head coach first, So, but all three of those guys were great to work for, and if there was something that was going to make us better, that's what we did. And kind of what I told those guys in the staff meeting up here Sunday. It don't matter who comes up with the idea as long as it works.
Right. You mentioned Coach Dillard, Coach Wills, and of course Coach Marshall, three coaches you worked under at Gordonsville, and maybe even coaches that you work for also at Macon and Lebanon. But maybe some philosophies and some lessons you learned from them that you're going to apply as now you take over as a head coach.
Well, I had the opportunity to come back here, and I'd worked under Coach Dillard at Lebanon, and he ended up coming back here and became the head coach after Coach Wills left. Coach Wills, the people that know Gordonsville football understand what he's all about. It's play defense and be rough, and that was the first thing that I got from him. We'd go out there and if it ain't done right, you're going to do it till it's done right.
Right.
You know, and he emphasized being physical, and that's always stuck with me. And of course, that's the way that when I played here, it's the way the game was played. So it's just something that when I look back at Coach Wills, you wanted the games had to be rough, and his idea was we make practice rough, we'll make the games will be rough too. And so that was one of the great things I got from him. Coach Dillard was we worked defense all the time, and defense wins ball games. Period.
Right.
Period. So, and then Coach Marshall came in, and Coach Marshall played back in the '70s before I came around, and was a star here at Gordonsville playing ball, and had coached at some different places, and just had some different ideas than what we had ever been a part of. So you take all those things, you gain something from everybody that you're around, and you throw Coach Medley in there, who coached with us some there too. He was a head coach here for years, won a state championship, was at Lebanon High School, was very successful. So, a lot of things that I gave for all four of those people. Plus the assistants that worked here. You sit down in a staff meeting on Sundays, and a lot of the decisions are just discussed among the whole group. So,
looking at the season coming up, you're defending Region 4 1A champions, had an excellent year a year ago. On top of that, up to 15 seniors potentially could be coming back. I know you're combing the hallways too, looking for athletes that maybe you want to get out for football. Talk about those expectations and what you see this team capable of doing coming up in the 2018 season.
Well, we were talking. I talked to the seniors the other day. I think our year could be very productive, and we've got a lot of kids that have played a lot of football. Mm-hmm. We got to get better in some areas, and they understand that, and we understand that, and that's why we go out and practice every day. I said if we were good, we wouldn't have to practice. We'd just show up and play. But those are things that they understand. They want to be successful, and they're willing to work. They've put the time in the weight room this winter, and we've got stronger. So, I'm challenging those guys to carry it out on the practice field with us during spring practice, and let's make it intense. Let's be physical, and then it'll just roll over into the fall.
Well, Coach, you got a chance, I think, for a special season, as you mentioned. And, of course, fans are passionate about Gordonsville football. I know they come out to Turney Ford Field, it seems like, every Friday night. And I know you want to encourage the community, get behind this team, come out and have some fun under the Friday night lights this fall.
There's no better place to be than Turney Ford Field on Friday nights. And I think anybody that lives in this community understands that and how important it is to this place. And that's all the way across the United States on Friday nights. We got small communities like ours that the fans come out and support their football team, and that's important to them. It's important to us. It's important to the people. You go to ShopRite or Quick and Easy or somewhere, and you see those people, and they're asking about football.
Right.
How are we going to be this year, Coach? And that's the fun part of going, because when you see those people, they want to know. They're getting excited. I think there were some fans maybe that got mad because it rained us out on Monday from spring practice. So
ready to go.
He's ready to go. So, but we are going to start tomorrow, and you're more welcome to come by and watch it. Just come on out, and then we know they'll be here.
All right. Well, Coach Clemons, congratulations on the job. Looking forward to seeing Gordonsville this fall. And, again, I know a lot of folks here in Gordonsville excited that you're going to be the one with the headset on Friday nights on the sidelines. Well, maybe not the headset, but you're going to be the one in charge. And I know you're excited about that opportunity as well.
I'm excited to get back out there. I spent a lot of time on that sideline, so it'll feel like I'm home again.
All right. Coach Scott Clemons, new head football coach of the Gordonsville High School Tigers, joining us here on this DTC Sports special presentation. And for DTC Sports, I'm Tom Duggin.